Welcome to another episode of the Inside Success podcast, where we speak with leaders who are shaping industries and redefining what's possible. Today, we're joined by Ayman Bitar, Vice President of Master Development and Infrastructure, and someone who has been behind some of the most ambitious mega projects and smart city initiatives in the Middle East region. With over 2 decades of global experience and involvement in projects that collectively exceeding $1 trillion in value, Ayman is helping to transform infrastructure from blueprint to platinum certified intelligent communities. Good afternoon, Ayman. It's great to have you with us here today.
Good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity.
Wonderful. So let's start at the beginning, Ayman. What would you say were the most defining turning points that shaped your leadership style and career direction?
Okay, it's a good question, Neta. So I would say a few turning points shaped my leadership style and career direction. Firstly, transitioning from a technical expert to leading cross-functional teams. This taught me how to empower others. Secondly, I would say delivering high visibility programs under pressure. This has strengthened my ability to simplify complexity and build trust. And thirdly, being mentored by strong leaders, this grounded me in clarity, empathy, accountability, and developing people.
Wow, that's very interesting. So I'm curious, was there a specific moment in your early career when you realized that you were to build an influence beyond your job titles and focus more on impact?
I would say yes. I'll give you an example. Early in my career, I worked on a project where progress stalled because teams were stuck in silos. I stepped in to align everyone, even without formal authority, and the impact was immediate. The experience taught me that real influence comes from creating clarity and driving outcomes, not from job titles.
Yeah, wow, you mentioned a lot of values, Ayman, but I'm curious, what are some of the non-negotiable values that you consistently bring into leadership, regardless of the environment or the role that you hold?
The values that I consider non-negotiable are integrity, accountability, and respect. I lead with transparency, I take ownership, and I treat people with fairness, regardless of role or pressure. I also prioritize clarity and collaboration.
Yes, that's wonderful. So I'm curious, in your journey so far, Ayman, because you have over 20 years of experience, you definitely encounter some of the challenges. So what type of challenges do you naturally gravitate toward, whether it's growth, restructuring, or transformation, or innovation, and why?
I gravitate toward transformation and growth challenges. They bring complexity and ambiguity, and I enjoy creating clarity, aligning teams, and driving tangible impact in those environments.
Yes. So can you share some of the most meaningful professional accomplishments so far and what makes it meaningful beyond the numbers?
My most meaningful accomplishment was leading a complex, high visibility program that brought multiple teams together. What made it meaningful wasn't the outcome itself, but the trust, alignment, and confidence in built across the organization.
So in your opinion, what does transformation truly mean? Is it just about the process change, the cultural change, customer outcomes, or is it something broader?
I believe transformation is a fundamental shift in how an organization thinks and operates, aligning people, processes, and behaviors to create lasting impact, not just change on paper.
So let's talk more about the culture and the team that you have been interacting with, Ayman. In your current organization or in the upcoming ones as well, how do you identify and developing high potential talent within an organization?
I look for people who show curiosity, ownership, and the ability to grow quickly. I develop them by giving stretch opportunities, clear feedback, and coaching that builds both confidence and capability.
Amen. So next question would be, what advice would you give to ambitious professionals out there who want to rise into leadership, but also want to stay authentic?
I would say stay self-aware, stay consistent, and let your values guide how you lead. Authenticity comes from owning who you are while continuously growing into who you want to become.
Yes, that's definitely valid. So finally, if you had to define your leadership legacy in just one sentence, Amen, what would you want it to be?
I want to be remembered as a leader who elevated people, created clarity, and left teams stronger, more confident, and more capable than I found them.
Amen. Before we close, is there anything else about you or, like about the other generations or advices that you would like to highlight to them that you would like to share in our podcast today?
The advice, as I always repeated, the most important thing is integrity in your career path. So integrity, transparency, and keep on learning.
Yep. So, Amen, I want to ask one more question, which is more forward looking. So, if you look at the next 10 years of master development in the region, what excites you the most? What will look fundamentally different compared to today?
In the coming 10 years, I believe in the region where I'm operating, I believe there will be booming and expansion in the master development. That's being communities, mixed use communities, residential, retail, commercial, as compared to the previous era where people used to develop like towers, buildings, and wherever. So we are seeing a big shift into major and multidisciplinary communities or mixed-use communities.
So, Amen, this has been more than a discussion about infrastructure. It's been a conversation about vision, discipline, courage, and building beyond the present moment. Thank you for sharing not just your experience, but also your mindset. Before we close, Amen, for the audiences that would like to also follow the next chapter of your life, what are some of the best channels that you would recommend them following you?
Thank you, Tara. They can follow me through LinkedIn, and I can provide you with the link. You can include it in the podcast.
Wonderful, Ayman. Thank you so much. I think that also wraps up our conversation for today. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to Inside Success Podcast. We'll see you next time as we continue highlighting leaders who are building the future at scale.
Thank you very much, Tara, and thank you for the opportunity.